All right, 11:01. Here we are at week 11. Going to be as quick and concise as I can with the video. The announcement is very quick and concise. We have three distinct assignments. Well, actually, two distinct assignments. One is a blog. So we have our next blog this week. It allows you to blog on the Jason Heller essay, the writer for the AV Club, as part of our classification unit in SEC. You guys read that essay and then had to contribute a discussion forum, a mandatory assignment throughout last week, as to whether or not there is a science to a good book. That was roughly the title of Jason Heller's essay. And you guys and I myself contributed to that discussion board. That'll be graded along with your SEC assignment from last week, sometime this week, probably by the latter half or during the latter half of this week. So for this week, again, a blog opportunity going towards your final MLA research revision attempt. So that brings me to our revisions. Remember, the second half of the term, instead of writing brand new essays, we're covering the other modes of discourse: classification, division, definition, compare and contrast, and cause and effect. But we're not writing essays tied to each of those. Instead, what we're doing is revisiting our essays that we wrote during the first quarter, and we are revising them. This is not an option. This is mandatory. If you do not submit a revised version of your narrative this week, you will get a 0 as a class and homework grade. Now, this brings me to a come to Jesus talk here. Some of you have utterly, completely checked out of the course. You're not participating. You're not doing anything. Maybe that's even half of us. It's pretty disconcerting. The reason why, presumably, you chose to do an online course is for the sake of the independence it allows you, and we all have busy lives. We have kids and jobs, things to do. So instead of going to class, you could do an online class, kind of work at your own speed, although there are due dates and things like that. It's at the convenience of your laptop, your PC at your home. Well, there's a two-way street to that. You get some freedom, but it also means you need to motivate yourself, okay? So those of you who are sticking along with the course and do care about your grade, way to go. Those of you who aren't or haven't, you're probably not even looking at this video right now. So, okay. I'm not a babysitter. I have a life and responsibilities of my own. I'm not coming after you to, pat you on the back and send you off and say, okay, go get it. Okay. That's what I do every week. I do these videos. That takes time and effort. I post an announcement. That takes time and effort. I grade, I read everything that you write. That takes time and effort. I would appreciate it if the time and effort were reciprocated. Or if not, be happy with your F. It's not my F, it's your F. Okay? Now, those of you who have been dutiful and have been paying attention, doing your work, this is not to fuss at you. But come on, we have a few weeks left of the term, about 7 or so. That's more than a few. So either buckle up or get out, because I am not waving a magic wand that's just going to rectify everything and give you a gleaming, glittering A if you didn't earn it. Okay, so buckle up or coast and don't participate and get what you deserve. I don't know what to tell you. You're adults, okay? In any case, pivoting back to this week, your narrative. You need to revise your narrative. That's even if you did great. If you got a 98 on your narrative, that means one tiny little itsy bitsy thing was wrong. Fix it, and you'll get half credit back. I'll average that half credit returned score with your previous score, and then that will act as your true essay score. So your narrative, let's say you got a 70 on the first go, okay? This week you are revising it based on the comments that I made in your paper, or by you sort of deducing from your rubric score what you need to do. or you could email me throughout the week, and I will be happy to assist you and be a little more specific on an individual basis, telling you what you could probably do to improve. Okay? So you got a 70 on that first one, let's say. So you revise your essay, your narrative, based on my comments, your rubric score, talking to me this week via email. You make all the corrections, all the necessary revisions, you get half credit back. So 70 to 100 is 30. Half of that is 85. Now you have an 85 for that second version. So let's average the 85, your new version, your revised grade, with your original 70. Okay? So that 70 to 85 is a 15-point differential. What's half of that? 7.5. So we round up to 8. So you now have a 78. Okay? So you got a 70 on the first go. You revised, got an 85. Average those together, and now you have your full complete grade, a 78. And by turning in the revised version, you get 100 for that class homework participation. Okay, so turning in the revised version gets you the 100 for class homework. Doing the complete revision will get you half credit back. And then I average the two, your first version, your second version. That gets you your new true grade for that essay. This week we're doing our narrative. What else do we have? We mentioned the blog. You also have a journal. Remember, the journals are compulsory, mandatory. You have to do them. Well, you don't have to do anything, by the way. There are consequences for your action or inaction in this case. But in terms of wanting to do well in the course, you have to do your journal. So we have our 5th journal, and it is on the SCC mode of discourse that we looked at last week, which was classification. Okay, and I ask you to journal this week. Basically, what's the importance of using that skill, classifying and dividing? We're presented with big topics, with big, general, vague things, whatever these things are, ideas, notions, topics, subjects. Well, how do we understand them better? We break them down into smaller parts in order to comprehend them more methodically. Okay, so basically I'm just asking you all to speak to why the ability to classify and divide is a useful life skill in rhetorical terms, meaning in argumentative, persuasive terms. Okay, why does it matter that I need to break down a big idea into smaller sub-ideas in order to articulate some point or to understand the world in a more complete way? Okay, so recap. This week, you must do your narrative revision. It is in our week 11 folder. Look at shell 6, weeks 11 through 12. Turn it in. Do your revision. Get the better score. Have it averaged with your original score. Okay, you also get 100 on turning that in for a class homework grade. Blog. Do the blog if you want bonus on your final revision, which is the MLA research essay. Okay? Then the journal. Mandatory. Okay? 2 mandatory assignments this week. 1 voluntary, the blog. Okay? Next week we'll get back to our continuation of our modes of discourse. I think next is definition. So next week we'll have some SEC exercises and a reader exercise. The reader exercise is actually listed in your, or the reader essay, what we're going to read for next week, is in your syllabus if you want to get a jump on it. If I just move this out of the way to the side, I can access it right here just to kind of give you a heads up if you want to get ahead. So the next thing we're going to read in here is the essay by Amy Willentz, A Zombie is a Slave Forever. So that might be fun, zombie in terms of it's Halloween this week. So maybe get a jump on that. And that's going to be due for next week. And then looking at our syllabus here, we might have to double up on some of the revisions just to keep track here. Or we might have to cut out one of the revision assignments. We'll have to see. Okay. So all we had this week, what I already mentioned. I don't think there's any point in needing to mention all of that again. I wish you all good luck. Those of you who have been doing good work all term, way to go. Those of you who are checked out, I'm sorry. If you're struggling, I'm sorry. I'm here to help you, but you gotta help me help you. And frankly, it's kind of too late now. All right. So peace out. Enjoy your week. And if you need to get in touch with me on any tips for that narrative revision, email me, and I'll be happy to help you. All right. Talk to you next week.